After weeks of trains, trials and tension here at Fawley Hill, after all the blood, sweat and tears...
Well, actually, it's mainly sweat.
Mainly sweat.
Yes.
It's finally here.
Yep, 5 teams from across the country all battling to be crowned Britain's next top modeller.
It is the Great Model Railway Challenge Grand Final. The great railway journey that's brought us to the Grand Final has been a magical mystery tour through the imaginations of some of the most creative minds in modelling. Now, our 5 surviving teams face their toughest challenge yet.
You have 30 minutes remaining. Why are your boards not connected? Not only must they build 5 new layouts completely from scratch, they then face the monumental task of joining their masterpieces together to create a 50-foot-long super layout.
1, 2, 3, up.
OK, no, yeah.
The slightest mistake could spell disaster for the whole enterprise.
Get it on!
Oh, that bit's the wrong bit.
But for the team that achieves perfection, the prize of having their layout displayed at the UK's leading railway exhibition awaits, as does the honour of being crowned champions of the Great Model Railway Challenge.
Deciding which team will be anointed champions are our judges, 2 of the modelling world's toughest nuts to crack.
The editor of the UK's leading railway modelling magazine, the butter-clenching, panic attack-inducing, stern Steve Flint.
We have 5 of the best railway modelling teams from across the country in our grand final. But if one of them is going to win, they've got to show me first-class modelling to create extraordinary theatre.
And master model railroader and mentor to modellers worldwide, the downright daunting Cathy Millett.
It's the grand final, and I'm expecting the very best. Perfect track laying, flawless modelling, and jaw-dropping animations.
The teams will have just 3 days to build their new layouts completely from scratch, and the theme they must incorporate into their creations is a suitably climactic one: a journey through time. Welcome to the Great Model Railway Challenge. The final. Congratulations, you all made it through. Well done. Well done, teams.
It's great to see you all back. Now, there's no pre-prepared items. You can't build anything at home and bring it in. You've got to design and make a layout that can win you the title in 36 hours. And I guess the big question at this point is, what is the theme for our layouts?
The theme is a journey through time.
You can do whatever you want with that. You can take us back to prehistoric times where dinosaurs roamed the earth, or you can take us to the distant future. But at the end of the 36 hours, you'll be over to our judges, Steve and Cathy. Now, perhaps most excitingly of all, in this final, during the 36 hours, you guys are going to have to connect all 5 layouts together to make one mega 50-foot model railway layout. Woohoo!
Now, that is going to be a lot of fun, but a lot of pressure as well, because think of it as a relay race, and if it stops on the joints or if there's a problem on your layout, it's like dropping the baton, at which point you will be penalised.
Right. So you need to have a one-track mind for real. Your 36 hours starts...
from the second you guys scream, now. Now! Go!
The first team to qualify for the grand final was strangers on a model train. The theme for their heat was movies, and they fought off the opposition with a layout inspired by epic war film The Longest Day.
That's a siren.
Bring on the Spitfires, the Supermarines. Look at that. Let's have a round of applause for that. That's fantastic.
Now for our Journey Through Time-themed grand final, Captain Malcolm and his troops will be keeping things more contemporary with a stirring layout inspired by the 2012 London Olympics, featuring a vision of a derelict pre-2012 East London, the same area after regeneration, and a group of marathon runners and beach volleyball players. Why Stratford 2012?
Because I think most people will be able to relate to it. I doubt there's anyone on the planet who hasn't heard of the Olympics.
Going for gold, eh?
Absolutely,
All
going
right,
for
then.
gold.
All right, we'll get training. Hey, yeah.
Callum, team captain of the Railway Video Division. Callum and his team of military specialists won Heat 2, which had the theme of British TV shows with their animation-packed Blackadder Goes Forth inspired layout. That's the bunker.
That's the bunker scene. So you've got Blackadder in there with Baldrick himself.
The moment in time Railway Video Division have chosen for their grand final display is the 1960s and 70s. Their Cold War layout will showcase a hump yard for sorting wagons, 2 enormous cooling towers and thermonuclear missiles being launched. How are these missiles actually going to fly? He's a judge.
We're going to use stomp rockets, which are the kids' toy rockets disguised as nuclear missiles.
That sounds... yes, mate. You into this, Steve?
Well, it sounds pretty intriguing for a model railway. I'm keen to see what comes out at the end of the day.
These are the young, this is the fresh blood, this is what these guys are creating to impress people like you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm keen to see what they're going to come up with.
As in the heats, the teams will aim to get their tracks laid and trains running as soon as possible so they can focus on the rest of their build.
But having to join all their layouts end-to-end to create a 50-foot-long super layout makes this task even trickier than before.
Hi, Dave. Hi. I've just been setting up the end of our layout where we connect onto yours. So the track centres are, you might want to just check that, because I think it's 55.
Yeah, I heard 50.5.
50.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 55.
Dave and his fellow Basingstoke Bodgers charmed the judges and won the globe-trotting themed Heat 3 with their eccentric Santa Goes on Holiday layout.
Here he comes, and here's Big Santa. And Santa's now going to get out, and he's going to go into the pub. There he is, there's Santa. Yeah, lovely.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
But the Bodgers aren't one-trick ponies. For the final, they're swerving from offbeat to old school, with a layout showcasing the engineering feats of the great Isambard Kingdom Brunel and Isambard Brunel Kingdom, if you will, including models of the Maidenhead Railway Bridge, the Royal Albert Bridge, and animated cameos from the great man himself.
It was such a neat idea that you had for us in the heats, and you did it beautifully with the move from the polar area to the Egypt and the lush English countryside in the middle. The fact that you've gone for a much more traditional, standard almost, approach here, that's going to put a lot more pressure on you to get the modelling right.
Yeah, it's a lot different. We could get away with a lot of things on the Santa's layout, but on this layout, no, we've got to do it properly.
During the heats, teams were allowed to bring along 6 pre-made scenic items to enhance their layouts. There are no such concessions in the final. The judges want to see what these teams are capable of building completely from scratch.
I am constructing a cooling tower. So on our layout, we're going to have a power station, and the idea is we've got quite large cooling towers featuring on that 1970s, all very grey and dingy, a bit smoky. In the heats, because we were allowed to pre-build a lot of the kits, that gave us a feeling of a bit of security that we had those in the bag and it was ready to go. Now everything's got to be built on the day. I am feeling the pressure, without a doubt.
In their spare time, home team the Fawley Flyers all work as volunteers here at Fawley Hill. They booked their place in the final with an exquisitely accurate reproduction of the Didcot Southall shed in the 1940s. And they're staying firmly rooted in that period for the final with a goods marshalling yard featuring animated signals and water cranes, a historically accurate station and rolling stock, and in a nod to the theme, a Back to the Future-inspired time tunnel.
This is certainly a layout for the aficionados, the purists.
Yep.
What's your wow factor then?
We've got the time tunnel. So as the trains come in from the preceding team's layout, we're going to have strobing lights to give you that impression of time travel, hyperdrive and a Millennium Falcon, if you will.
Right, yeah. A bit of imagination.
A bit of imagination, a bit of drama, a bit of theatre for you. We've got a journey through time lined up for you in many facets, so hopefully we'll knock your socks off.
Because the teams have spent most of the morning meticulously planning the joining together of their baseboards, the track laying has not progressed as rapidly as Judge Kathy would have liked.
Callum, big sea of white. Have you managed to test your track, which is that key day one activity?
Not yet, no.
Are you worried?
Yeah, we're slightly worried. I think we can crawl it back. I think once Edie's got the tower on there, everything will just fall into place. But at the moment, it is looking a bit dire, but we'll have to see.
Also struggling to make headway are Aberdeen MRC, who earned their place here with Clucas Bay, an elaborate reproduction of a North Sea container port.
So you've got 2 trains running here, 3, 4. I mean, there are so many moving components here. It's something to be very proud of, no doubt.
Yes.
Are you happy with the way it's gone?
I'm really happy from what we had when we arrived 2 days ago, bare boards, to what we've actually got here. I'm really ecstatic.
Their grand final layout is a bit different. A 25th century cloud city that's both dystopian and utopian, featuring a multi-tiered design to create forced perspective, underclass and upper-class accommodation, and a transparent track that appears to float in thin air.
So this is all going to drop down, and then you're going to have what? A kind of like a middle class, and then a kind of re-smog layer? Or...
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
We're going to take a saw to the legs.
Can you do that?
I hope so.
As all the teams grapple with the unprecedented challenge of creating a layout from scratch in just 3 days, Forley flyer Phil has made his teammates' lives even harder by deciding to increase the surface area of the baseboard.
I think it's common sense to extend the board like this because we then end up with more space to operate trains in a more realistic manner. At times I felt like I've created a rod for my own back, but now it's starting to come together. I'm feeling a lot happier about it.
As the end of day one approaches, none of the teams have tested their track, and it's not gone unnoticed.
Teams, excuse me, can I have your attention, please? Very important. Kathy would like to say something.
Guys, I'm worried. There's a lot of bare baseboard, and there's nothing running. This is the end of day one. You need to pick up the pace right now.
We're very tight up on the time. There's so much work to do. Normally you build a model railway over a series of months or years. It's very hard work, it's quite stressful.
Kathy seems to think there's too many empty baseboards. She can bark all she likes. I'm not subject to her whims and fancies. I'm here to do my job in this competition.
Day 2 of our grand final, and it could soon be tracks of my tears here at Forley Hill, because our 5 expert teams have been delaying their laying. Can they get things back on track?
Yesterday, not one of the teams succeeded in getting their trains running. During the heats, they saw exactly what happened to teams who didn't achieve this, and the Forley Flyers are determined not to make the same mistake.
Just testing the track. If it doesn't work, you don't want to see a grown man cry, so I'm just gonna leave. Like, I'll go and find my special place. It's a small victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. Like, we've got power, we've got trains moving.
When it comes to impressing the great model railway judges, size matters.
Oh.
And scenic items don't come much bigger than AD from Railway Video Division's scratch-built cooling tower.
It's the most nerve-wracking...
Wow. That completely transforms it. Now we've just got to build another one.
Yeah, right, okay.
Mid-morning, and Aberdeen MRC have succeeded in getting their narrow-gauge track working. The plan is to lower this tier to floor level to give the impression that it's being viewed from a vantage point above the clouds.
So the pressure is on for the whole team. Because we've actually got many tiers throughout the actual layout, our skyline has to come down to everybody else's board line. So to do that, we have to take a big chunk off our legs. We're hoping to get that done by end of today.
The Basingstoke Bodgers layout is a tribute to Isambard Kingdom Brunel, but as yet, they are not living up to their idol's engineering prowess.
How's it going then, guys? You look like you're having a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that one doesn't respond at all.
It's just not working.
Not still responding.
You need a test track.
Yeah.
A programming track.
Yeah.
Where's your programming track?
At home.
Right. So how long is it going to take you to run one up?
Oh, half hour tops.
I'm seriously worried about the Basingstoke Bodgers. They've come to test the trains. They haven't been able to get any locomotives to work. If they don't get their act together, I'm concerned they aren't going to finish on time.
The Strangers are also in need of some performance enhancement as they struggle to get their Olympic effort into shape, a fact their indomitable captain refuses to accept.
How's it going?
Going fine, exactly to plan.
Is it?
Yes.
My worry is that I don't know if you're on target.
That's not for you to worry, that's for me to worry.
I know it is, but I'm also wanting you to finish it.
Well, yes, we want to finish it ourselves. At the moment, I'm quite confident that what these lads are doing is going to work out.
While Malcolm and the other engineers continue to tinker, the creatives are next door in the art room, scratch building the all-important scenic elements. During the heats, Forley flyer Rachel wowed the judges with her woodland, a feat she's hoping to repeat.
I'm benefiting from something that everybody else is complaining about, which is this terrific heat in the studio today. But this is doing great things for my trees. That armature glue that I was putting on earlier has completely dried and allowed me to put a second coat on the trees today. That is amazing. I could never do that at home. So these are going to be advanced quite quickly. We've still got several hours to go today, so there should be some more trees again by the end of the day.
The judges have expressed concern that Rachel and her fellow flyers are staying in their comfort zone for this final. However, they do have one animation that reveals a hitherto unseen, playful side.
It's very nice, Drew, but what exactly are we looking at here?
Well, this is our bit of fun, basically. The idea was to do something that was just out of the ordinary for us. We have quite a reputation of being fairly staid and fairly down the middle of the road. So this is my sort of interpretation of time travel.
OK. It's certainly not middle of the road unless that road's got burning tar tracks going down the middle of it, because that's the DeLorean, isn't it, from Back to the Future?
It is, yeah.
All right, fantastic. And then a flying phone box above it, that can only be...
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, brilliant. As you mentioned, Drew, this is a little bit against your usual modelling instincts. Is this the kind of thing that you think will actually swing it for you, swing a victory
Well, I
for
would hope so, yeah, because, as I say, it's not that I can't do this sort of thing, it's just that I choose not to.
Prefer not to, right. Which is why it's hidden away in the back of the mountain.
Possibly a little bit, yeah.
At the other end of the display room, and 5 centuries into the future, Aberdeen MRC are busy constructing affordable polystyrene housing for their dystopian underclass. Unfortunately, even in the distant future, it still takes builders longer to finish a job than they say it will.
I mean, I love the ambition, but I did think you'd be further on. You said this would all be complete by the end of the first day.
Yeah.
You're halfway through now. It's still not complete.
I know. Well, what's happened along the road is that, you know, things have changed. The schedule isn't exactly going like clockwork like we would hope it would. We're tackling other things that would have been done later in time, and, yeah, we have a plan.
Please don't be that team that aims so high, so ambitious, but then you just ran out of time.
There's no point in aiming low, you know. So we're going for the stars here.
Please pull it off.
Having been rushing around all morning, trying to make headway with his 1970s Cold War-themed layout, Captain Callum's decided it's high time to take a well-earned tea break.
So we've got, my nan has made us a lemon drizzle cake, then we got a coffee cake made by my mum, and then I thought I'd get in on the act and make some homemade chocolate brownies.
Coffee and walnut. My favourite.
Over at the Basingstoke Bodgers homage to Brunel, it may have taken the best part of 2 days, but their track is finally ready to test.
All wheels on.
Whoa.
Way!
The front one's off.
OK, that's a minor detail.
OK.
Yes!
Oh, dear.
Well done. Yeah, brilliant.
The mood is somewhat less upbeat over on Strangers on a Model Trains baseboard. Despite being over halfway through the competition, there is still minimal scenery and no working locomotives.
Ollie, what we're going to do about bits like this? We're going to use static grass and stuff like that.
Yeah, static grass. We'll have some. We'll see what's left over building-wise, and then we'll work it out.
Nevertheless, iron-willed Captain Malcolm refuses to bend under the pressure.
I don't worry about judges or people. I do what I want to do, and I do the best I can, and if it isn't good enough, then it isn't good enough.
Well, I'm finding this final fascinating so far. We've got 5 teams and 5 very different approaches to this last challenge. Some spreading out, some going up, some dropping down, some haven't put any scenery on at all. What do you think?
The pressure is really on. You can tell it's a final out there, can't you?
Strangers on a Model Train, I'm really concerned about. They are so far behind. They've not got anything running on the track. They've not even got it tested, and some of it is laid rather badly.
So what's going wrong for them?
Well, maybe they just haven't got the team dynamic together. They just haven't got the gusto to pull everything out of the hat.
Yeah, how do we think the Bodgers are doing? That's an interesting one.
They had serious problems with the track and their DCC control system, which they eventually solved.
Right.
You know, but they are still so far behind. They've got trains running, but no scenery. It's still bare baseball.
What about, then, RVD?
Yes.
Well, they've got some ambitious animations, and if they pull them off, they may be winners. But there's a lot of ground to go over first.
The Foley Flyers.
The Foley Flyers, absolutely great modellers, loads of experience, but they're going to put themselves under a lot of pressure if they're going to deliver the creativity this time that they didn't quite cover last time.
What they need to do is nail that time tunnel.
Can I say something which has struck me about the final over the heats? There's a whole lot more pressure on all of the teams now, aren't there? Everyone's struggling.
And what's curious is that most teams have responded to that by almost retreating into more traditional layouts, slightly dialing back on the imagination that they put into the layout in the heat. The team that hasn't done that, but has gone completely the other way, is Aberdeen.
I love their ambition, and that concept is brilliant. I love sci-fi. I'm just worried about their time. They're massively behind where they said they would be when we started. We're at the end of day 2. I'm not seeing enough progress.
As the end-of-day deadline looms, the modellers redouble their efforts to get their scenery into position. And having hurled up affordable housing for their untouchables, Aberdeen are finally able to turn their gaze to the stars and start work on the posh bits in the clouds.
We're being quite ambitious with this layout. We've got 3 levels to do, so that's 1 done. Another 2 to go, so bring it on.
Does it fit?
It's competition time for you at home now, and we're sending one lucky winner and a friend on a 2-night trip to the Lake District. Choose to arrive by train, and on a day of your choice, head to Ravenglass and Exdale Railway. Spend the day aboard their steam train, imagining a bygone age of rail travel as you pass through the scenic Cumbrian countryside. Stop off en route for a pub lunch on us, and if you're feeling inspired to create your own model version at home, there's £1,000 to help set those plans in motion. Full steam ahead. For a chance to win, text MODEL to 65555 or call 0902 055 3555 or post your name and phone number to Model PO Box 7557 Derby DE1 0NP. Text costs £2 plus 1 message at standard network rate. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Lines close at midday on the date shown on screen and 3 working days later for postal entries. For rules, go to channel5.com/win.
The teams have just 1 day left to finish their layouts and complete the Herculean task of connecting them end to end to create a 50-foot-long super layout.
Soaring ahead of the pack are the Foley Flyers, with most of their scenics in place and their animations on track.
It's kind of make or break for us. We just need to get our scenics sorted today, and with the animations we've got, I think we've got a winning combination that should hopefully smash the competition and bring us home the trophy.
Also making major advances are Railway Video Division. With their Cold War layout nearing completion, they can now focus their attention on their weapons of mass entertainment.
This is one of our animations. It's a child's toy. Repurpose it into a bit more of a military application. The idea is that the rocket will be physically shot out like this out of the cooling tower, and yeah, we're hoping it's going to add a bit of fun to the whole affair.
The Basingstoke Bodgers, however, are way behind with their scenics and animations, having struggled to get their track laid and tested.
It was a quote from Red Dwarf Crichton. He says, engage panic mode. It's a bit like that.
And it's not just the team from Basingstoke feeling the pressure. Reality is finally biting for strangers on a model train's Captain Malcolm, who's presiding over what could be an Olympic-sized disaster.
I have to say that all of this is becoming much more pressurised for model making, but then again, it's meant to be a challenge, so I suppose it's meant to be a challenge from the time you go to the toilet to the time you go to bed.
Aberdeen MRC are building a multi-layered, futuristic city in the clouds, but they'll need to hit warp speed if they're to finish on time.
Carl, Finley, sorry, excuse me. Hi, sorry to interrupt. Every time we look at your layout, it seems there's another new level going on it. Is this the next one?
This is the last one.
The last one, the final level.
It is an amazing design that you've come up with. There are some people who think that maybe you've gone a little bit too ambitious. On this third day, with so much still to do, are you thinking that maybe you've bitten off a little bit too much?
No, we're good for what we actually want to do, and we will complete.
Having impressed the judges in the heats with their ingenious animations, Railway Video Division are hoping to go one better in the final with a hump shunting stunt. That's right, where a wagon under its own momentum collides with a stationary one, causing it to derail and fall apart.
Am I going to need safety goggles for this? Is this going to whip the head off?
All part of the test, mate.
All right. Come on, let's do it. Right, here we go, incoming. You've got the Gronk 08, am I right? The shunter at the top. Whoa, what happened then? OK, well, prod it. Let's see what it does. Yes, OK, so it does. Guys, I'm wondering if you may want to reconsider presenting this. I feel your pain on this one. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, like we say, we've got a few hours left of the day.
Yeah.
Till judging. You know, who knows?
Only 2 hours left now in the final. You've got to get your layouts done in the next 2 hours. And remember, they have to be linked together.
During judging, a star train will run along the entire length of the 50-foot-long super layout, and teams will be penalised if it derails on their section, or worse, if they fail to connect their board at all.
Keen to get cracking with the link-up, Railway Video Division send an emissary to one of their neighbouring tables.
Down. Just to let you know, we're all ready to link up when you are. I don't want to put any more pressure on you that you're already right. But it's time is against us, so the quicker the better, really. Thank you. Drew, did you hear me last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll just finish up going along here.
Right.
Teams, you have 1 hour remaining. I repeat, 1 hour remaining.
Aberdeen's unorthodox design will see the star train running along the top cloud-level tier of their layout. But in order to get this sky track to line up with the neighbouring board, major surgery is required.
Having been left twiddling their thumbs, waiting for their neighbours to catch up, the Railway Video Division finally have another board to connect to, but there's a problem.
Mind your head, dude.
Callum or AD, bit of an emergency. We've wired our buzzwires all the way around. Don't worry, we're going to swap these round at each end, so put the female one at this end and swap the male. Right, go! Go!
Guys, you have 30 minutes remaining. Why are your boards not connected? You will be penalised.
With Angry Tim's words ringing in their ears, the Bodgers decide to put the final touches to their layout on hold and go for link-up.
OK, to my left, so Dave, if you go...
OK, that's it. Stop.
Thank you very much. You've done a great job. No worries.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All the other layouts have got it male, female. We've got it the other way around.
Male, female?
Yeah.
Carl, half an hour.
We're good for that.
You're good for that. Do you know how long it's going to take you to connect these two together? More than half an hour, most probably. The other teams have taken more than half an hour. Having reversed their layouts male and female connectors, RVD can give connecting with the Flyers another try.
Fish plates are in. Fish plates are in. Fish plates are in.
6 inches towards the... Get it down close.
Keep going back there. Stop.
Absolutely fine.
Got it.
Alarm! Alarm! 10 minutes remaining.
With the Bodgers, Flyers and RVD layouts now connected, strangers on a model train decide to cut their losses and join the party too, despite not having all their scenery in place.
Steady.
Hang on, a bit further.
But where are Aberdeen?
Right, I believe in you. I think we can do this. Can I assist you? I build houses, I build cars. What do you want me to do?
We're going to move. 1, 2, 3, up.
Okay, no, yeah. Okay, hang on, everyone all right?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Strangers on a model train, we have an incoming Aberdeen.
You have 3 minutes remaining of the grand final.
Is their board touching the ground?
Malcolm, you have 40 seconds to get your remaining piece of backboard on, or it will not be accepted. 40 seconds remaining, guys. Snap it, Malcolm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Get it on.
Oh, that bit's the wrong bit.
2. Get it on. 1. Is it on? It's on. Your time is over. The Great Model Railway Challenge has concluded. Give yourselves one hell of a round of applause. Well done.
It was a bit of a stressful moment when we got our wiring around the wrong way, but everything's now sorted. Very pleased with the outcome.
Feeling shattered. Happy we got it finished, but yeah, really shattered. It's been a pretty stressful, emotional last couple of hours, just getting everything tied up and finished as best as we can.
That's what I'm talking about.
So there's so many good layouts here, so many good modellers. We've got some of the best modellers in the country, and they've done a cracking job. And it could be anyone's. It really could be anyone's.
Here's a chance to win a trip for 2 to the Lake District, spending a day at Ravenglass and Exdale Railway, imagining a bygone era of travel. With £1,000 included, you may even start building a model version at home. To enter, text model to 65555 or call 0902 055 3555 or post your name and phone number to model PO Box 7557 Derby DE1 0NP. For rules, go to channel5.com/win.
We're almost at the end of the line. Time now for one of the most important moments in the British modelling year. All 5 teams have completed exceptional layouts, and all 5 have now been joined together, which will be our inaugural champion of the Great Model Railway Challenge.
As always, Kathy and Steve will be judging the teams on how creatively they've interpreted the theme, the quality of their modelling, and how well the layout functions. They'll also take into account the layouts the teams built in the heats when deciding who should be crowned champions.
Wow, you know, to be the first team to win the Great Model Railway Challenge would be fantastic.
The Bodgers layout forms the first stage of the Journey Through Time Super Layout and is a homage to railway pioneer Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Featuring a narrow gauge Royal Albert Bridge at the rear to create forced perspective, a model of the Maidenhead Bridge, and hidden cameos of the man himself.
Next stop on the journey through time will be William Cutting, a 1940s marshalling yard created by home team, the Fawley Flyers.
We haven't come here for nothing. We're here to win, and hopefully we can clean up and take the trophy.
William Cutting bears a striking resemblance to the Flyers' heat layout, leading to question marks over their creativity. But it does contain a futuristic time tunnel complete with spinning DeLorean, along with authentically weathered buildings and rolling stock, and animated signalling.
There's a party atmosphere at Fawley Hill as friends, family and fans of railway modelling arrive to cheer on the teams. Hoping to give a good account of themselves are Railway Video Division with their Cold War layout. Having wowed the judges in their heat with their animations, they're going to DEFCON 1 this time, with nuclear missiles being launched from enormous cooling towers, colliding wagons, a concealed bunker, and angry ban-the-bomb protesters.
Now, assuming the Star Train survives nuclear Armageddon, it will jump forward to 2012 and the Strangers on a Model Train's London Olympics-themed layout.
We started as underdogs, with luck we'll finish as top dogs.
Malcolm's brainchild depicts a derelict pre-2012 East London. Post-Olympic gentrification, marathon runners and beach volleyball, and animated video screens.
Last stop on the journey through time will be the dystopian, utopian vision of the future modelled by Aberdeen MRC.
I'm very happy with how everything's gone and they all look brilliant, but mine's the best.
Aberdeen's innovative three-tiered layout features a vertical forced perspective. On the bottom level, narrow-gauge trains and vehicles fit for the lower classes race around amidst fog and lightning strikes. And above the clouds tier is reserved for upper-class apartments. There are space lifts and a transparent track that appears to float in thin air. It's the moment of truth for our 5 teams. Can our state-of-the-art Class 800 Star Train travel the full length of the 50-foot super layout without derailment? And will the animations function as the train passes through each of the team's sections?
I'm so excited about the 50-foot layout. If they pull it off, it'll be an effort worthy of champions. If they make a mistake, it could derail their entire efforts.
Ladies and gentlemen, years of modelling practice, weeks of the Great Model Railway Challenge, it all comes down to this. We're going to decide who is the champion based on what happens across these 5 layouts. Let's count him down. 3, 2, 1.
And we're off.
All right, and we begin with the Basingstoke Bodgers. Where are we? 1850s?
1850s here. Well, who is that? Who is that little man standing in front of the chains?
It's Marky de Brunel, the cheeky fellow. And there he is again.
There he is again.
Hello, Isambard.
Yes.
She's flying across Brunel Land. Oh, in the background, the N-gauge is engaged. All right, let's get the hell out of Bodge. And we cross across the first junction into the Forley Junction flickering fires. And oh, my word, look at that in the marshalling yard.
Hang on a minute, forget the marshalling yard. We have moving signals. We have an alternative loco. Very smooth.
Very nice indeed. All right, that was brilliant. Through the junction we go. We're into Railway Video Division's vision of another kind of Cold War.
Now, there's supposed to be an explosion. So we have impact. No exploding US wagon.
What a pair of shunts those were.
There is the rocket. Yes,
Whoa.
the rocket flies.
Those smoking cooling towers. Fab. I think we could be heading for Armageddon. And our train driver says, Armageddon out of here. We're into another apocalyptic scenario. Oh no, it's Stratford in 2012. The Olympics, Tim.
Isn't that just the best animation you've seen? Look at those runners competing in the Olympic marathon, the same speed as a transit van. Wow.
Gold medals all round. We're up to the final junction. Is the Star Train going to make it? It is. Tim, we're in the future. We're flying.
Look at this, then. We have a sky lift.
Wow.
Look at the sky lift.
Tim, don't look down. There's lightning, there's police chases, there's poor folk.
This is the final junction. Ladies and gentlemen, the Star Train has crossed the line! Yes!
5 fantastic layouts. It's going to be so hard to choose between them. Give us some little thoughts, though, on each layout. Starting off, Steve, with the Basingstoke Bodgers.
What a great Isambard Kingdom Brunel medley this was. And I liked the forced perspective as well, with the double O at the front and the N-gauge at the back. The quality of build was actually quite good. It fitted the speed that they needed to achieve. However, I think it was possibly a little bit too ambitious for them, because there are certain parts that aren't quite finished.
But what I will say, fantastic bridges.
Overall, the Brunel medley isn't bad.
Isn't bad.
OK, let's talk Forley Flyers. Authentic, absolute perfection in terms of operation and their ability to build beautiful model railways, right?
Oh, it was a beautiful layout, really well done on the goods yard especially. I really liked that area.
Foley flyers are absolutely great modellers, you know, well experienced. They did very well indeed, and it was a classic layout for the purist.
They're known for not being that creative, particularly in the heats. Do you think they stepped up to it this time?
That time tour was gorgeous, but was it enough?
Let's talk about Railway Video Division. Not everything came together for them, Steve, but a lot did.
I was particularly inspired by the cooling towers, and I really liked the method they'd used to construct them. Overall, the animations seemed to work pretty well.
Apart from the wagon?
Absolutely. The exploding wagon didn't work this time round. But the rocket, you know, that was pretty good. Nearly blew the lights away.
They're superb modellers. I think they're absolutely excellent, and I love the creativity.
OK, so do you think they improved on their previous entry in the heats, the Blackadder-themed layout?
Yes, I think they did, definitely.
Let's follow the Star Train down the line to Strangers on a Model Train. Interesting one. Maybe the underdog. Kathy, how do you think they did?
Those jogging, the animations.
That was a standout animation.
I mean, that all really came together.
To me, that was the best animation we've had since the beginning of the Great Model Railway Challenge.
But overall, I didn't feel it had enough on it. It just looked... There wasn't enough buildings. It just looked a little bare for me. And those black and white cutouts, I didn't get.
Finally then, Aberdeen, who came up with that wonderful Clucas Bay layout for the heat. Broadly similar, the other four approaches, Aberdeen's was something completely out of left field. They dropped the table down. They went for bags and bags of kind of wispy cotton wool and flashing lights and stuff. Did it work for you, Kathy?
It really did. I have to say, I love the creativity. Yeah. It was inspired, and they had force perspective going down. I've never seen that before. So for me, thumbs up.
Steve?
It's a model railway, James, but not as we know it.
Right.
To take a line from a famous sci-fi film.
That's right. So what does that mean, Steve? Did you like it or did you not?
The quality of build was very good. They used methods and techniques that perfectly fitted the time frame. I can give them full marks for that, definitely. And everything worked. You know, all the animations worked really, really well.
I loved it. I thought it was creative. The quality on that build was absolutely top-notch.
For the first time since the beginning, all the heats and the lot, I have no idea who you guys are going to go for. Who are you going to crown the winner of the Great Model Railway Challenge?
It's a really, really tough challenge because there's 5 fantastic layouts out there.
Tim, if we give them a second or two, very shortly we'll find out who's going to win the Great Model Railway Challenge 2018.
Oh. It's going to take us longer than a second, so I suggest you pop out and get yourselves a cream tea.
Railway modellers, wow, what ambassadors for your hobby. And I'm sure I have the nation standing alongside me saying thank you for entertaining us. Guys, give them a round of applause. Brilliant.
All right, it's been emotional, it's been locomotional, yeah? But we're all now agog to find out who's actually won this.
There are 5 amazing layouts here, and it's been really tough. We narrowed it down to 2, and we had a split decision. So we looked back at all of the heat layouts in order to reach our verdict.
And the winner of the inaugural Great Model Railway Challenge is...
Aberdeen. Railway Video Division, they gave Aberdeen a run for their money. But Aberdeen, 2 fantastic layouts. They are superb modellers.
Aberdeen have really impressed me with their model-making skills, their experience and their interpretation of the challenges. They are worthy winners.
I think it would be in a close decision. There's some really good modellers out there, but I think we won it on merit. I feel great. It's been well worth the effort that we put into it, and tonight we'll go out and celebrate, and it might be sore heads tomorrow.
They're the heroes who've defended the skies of Britain for more than a century. Join us as we celebrate 100 years of the RAF, brand new next Friday at 8. New next, Michael meets some people who are more down to earth but are heroes just the same. Portillo's Hidden History of Britain continues after a quick news update.